Welcome, gamers, to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. We're on episode number 89. My name is Craig Prowse, and joining me is Manj Montemayor. How are we?
A little tired, and I don't know why. And I was just going to say it, but I didn't think you'd get it.
Uh-oh.
But, like, King of the Hill, I forget what he says, but the doctor's trying to prescribe him something. He's like, I don't want to be all hopped up on Goofenthal. And so that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm hopped up on Goofenthal.
I don't know if I would have got without the explanation. Is that when he can't shit, and he's trying to give him medicine to poop?
I think so. I don't remember. Because I just remember he's like, well, there, Dr. Feelgood. Before you start subscribing, he said, I don't want to be all hopped up on Goofenthal.
Okay, well, you know what can help you with to loosen up a little bit are these beers that we're going to be sipping on, because the beer recommendations are back. Feel free to submit one. This was submitted by Valkyrie, and this is the Passion Wolf Hazy IPA, sitting at 7%, brewed by the Golden Road Brewing Company. This is by a brewing company that we're familiar with, and they usually make solid beers, and I gotta say, this one's no less than any of the other ones.
Yeah, they've done the mango cart. We couldn't find the melon cart. We did like a lemonade one, and I forget what the other one is. We just did it like a few weeks ago. It was like a beach style IPA or something like that on there, and it was actually really good because it was some random one that I happened to grab. But I actually really like this one a lot. I think it's actually really, really good. That it's weird too because I didn't like the lemonade one.
I know. I don't think that was your favorite.
Yeah, I thought that one was the gross one, but I think this one's like really fucking good. I would maybe even almost, I don't know, that mango cart's just too good, but I would maybe almost put it over the mango cart.
Yeah, because it says juicy and tropical, bursting with real passion fruit, and then this one you can actually taste it. It's not just like on the can as false advertising. It does taste really juicy and like that little bit of sourness, but like in a very particular way that's not overpowering by any means.
I would definitely get it if I was going out, or I highly recommend this. This is definitely like a waterside beer for sure.
Nice. So, I'm sorry.
I was saying like not drinking games, but if you're going to the river.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. This would be a nice river beer, a nice pool beer. So if you guys have had it before, leave your comments down below what your opinion of it is, and if you want to recommend a beer for us to drink on a future show, feel free to do so in the comments as well. So before we move any further, guys, take a quick moment to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button, because we're actually moving along quite well. We're just past 2.5k subscribers, and we couldn't be doing that without you guys. So we do appreciate that you guys are doing it. We're just doing helpful reminders for those who are now maybe new to the show, or maybe this is your second time around with us. Feel free to follow us on any of the social medias that we have going on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. We like to update those and leave funny things on there, as well as if you guys are listening to the audio version only of this podcast, which you can do on Spotify, Castbox, iTunes. If you can, leave us a nice comment, because a good comment goes a long way.
For sure, hit that notification button again so we don't get lost in your shuffle. And I'd say more importantly too is join our Facebook group if you have Facebook, because it's not just us in there. We interact in there a lot. There's tons of other people just posting gaming news, gaming stories, funny stuff. A lot of times too, asking questions. Hey, I can't get this to work. I can't find where to buy this, whatever. And everyone's just helping each other out. So we kind of created this cool little group that's just helping each other out. And I actually really like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So before we hit our big story today, guys, we like to do a little segment, which is What Are You Up To? Where Andrew and I take a moment to see what we've been playing, what we've been watching, what we've been doing with our life week to week. So I'll start it off, because this was a movie that Gino told me to watch, that Andrew told me to watch, that Denny told me to watch, that Dante told me to watch. I don't know how I slept on it for so long, because I think it came out last year, but this is the Mortal Kombat Legend Scorpion's Revenge. This is on HBO Max if you have it. This is the full-length animated film that if you've watched the new movie, it'll put you, and whether you liked it or you didn't, watch this one, because this is exactly how a Mortal Kombat movie should be. And I was telling Andrew and the rest of the boys was not only is it a great video game movie, if we want to slide anime into that conversation, or animated, it's one of the best animated films I've seen in a long, long time. Like, it's brutal. It's got a storyline that I care about. And as I was telling Andrew, because he's seen more of the other movies than I have, it introduces a lot of good characters like Quan Chi and things like that you don't see too often outside of the video game. So I super enjoyed it, and that was due to the recommendation of my fellow gamers.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's pretty much just a retelling of one, but it's also got modern elements, like he's talking about the Quan Chi, which they took from Mortal Kombat X, so definitely a lot more modern take on it, but I think it's very good.
Yeah, so check it out, guys, because it is a lot of fun, and it's...
I didn't know the other guys had actually seen it.
Everyone was busting my balls. Everyone's like, "Oh, did you watch the Scorpion's Revenge yet?" I was like, "No, but I'm going to."
That's cool. Everybody else watched it. I didn't know that.
So I'm still playing Outriders. Me and Gino are having, and Dante when he jumps on, are having a lot of fun still playing this game. If you guys, a good note to put in, if you guys were part of the group that played it when it first launched and it was extremely buggy, they let out a statement, and we covered that in a few episodes ago, that they were going to gift everybody that had problems like a care package, bonus weapons and things like that.
Was
so
it good? Did you get yours?
Check yours, because I was jumped on last night. I had about maybe 9 new legendary weapons, all geared up to my highest ranked guy. So that was actually pretty cool. Gino actually got gear pieces and some weapons. Mine were all guns, which was fine because it gave me a new light machine gun and a shotgun that I really needed. So check out Outriders if you guys have been waiting for that, because I know a lot of people were. I started Resident Evil 2. I haven't really dove too much into it. I do plan on diving into it more this week. But Second Extinction came out on the Game Pass as a game preview. And it's the reason I like it more than like when we were playing Grounded is, even though it's a game preview, it's still got achievements. So you can still hunt around with it. And like Outriders, it's a 3-person party that you go around essentially shooting dinosaurs and doing kind of these sub-missions. I've been playing, it is a bit glitchy. When Andrew and I played it, I've been noticing it's glitchy when there's multiplayer involved, because when Andrew got in, we did a mission for 30 minutes, got kicked. When me and Gino played it the other day, every time I would go to the map, I'd get booted. But when you play it by yourself, it's fine, even though you really can't play it by yourself. It's meant to be played with 3. But
yeah, that game was pretty hard.
That's what I've been playing. That's what I've been up to.
Me, actually, I haven't been watching anything, but I do have planned for the weekend. There's 2 new episodes, actually, of Dark Side of the Ring. I think it's a 2-parter of... I'm not sure what, actually, because I didn't read into it, but I do have it on my watch later, because usually I'll watch it with AJ. We'll get on a headset together and check it out, and he's been busy with school, so haven't done that. But if that's something you're into, definitely watch them, because they're out there, and they've always been really good. But more importantly, I actually started Resident Evil Village, and if you caught the stream, I've been starting up our Twitch streaming. That's something we've been saying we're going to do for a while now. I kind of did a little bit of Call of Duty in there when I was just kind of testing some waters. I think I spent like 45 minutes on Resident Evil Village last night. I'm actually going to play the full game front to back on there, so it's all just a blind playthrough. I have no guides, haven't looked anything up. I have no clue about anything because I didn't even play the demos either, so that way it'd all be fresh. So anything on there, maybe jump in, help me out, give me a hint. But so far, I actually really like the game. I kind of, going into it, felt like really indifferent because it's so different with all the craziness that's going on. But now that I'm playing it, I think it's absolutely great. Like, I can't wait to get home, play more, stream some more. So check us out on twitch.tv/LastCallGaming 928, all one word.
Yeah, so if you guys are looking for that link, it is now going to be in all of our descriptions moving forward, now that we actually have content that you can check out on there. Anything else, or are we ready to move into a little story time?
If you don't happen to catch it, I will re-upload it to YouTube. Session 1 actually should already be on there now, so if you want to, go and check it out.
Nice. So guys, with that down and out of the way, feel free to leave your what have you been up to down in the comments. We'd love to see what you guys are up to. We're getting a lot more feedback in the comments.
Before that, since we're going to start streaming a little bit more, if there's anything you guys would like us out there to stream, play together, anything like that, feel free to leave that in there, because we're trying to get into that kind of a whole lot more now that we've kind of made time and found an easier way to do it versus plugging it into a computer and running it through OBS and running it through whatever. Twitch has a super easy app on Xbox. It's just plug and play. So.
Nice, because I know you want to do a little more Call of Duty on there.
Yeah, I'll be doing Call of Duty and other stuff I'm interested in. I did a little Yu-Gi-Oh! The other night. Ooh. So if there's anything you guys want us to play, maybe play together, anything like that, let us know.
I would like all of that. So let's move into our big story, and that is that Discord has announced an official partnership with Sony and more, direct the PlayStation. So for anyone who doesn't know what Discord is, but we can kind of touch base on that. It's something that was initially released on May 13th in 2015. And essentially what it is it's a communication platform for the PC and mobile. And what it lets you do is it lets you chat through texting, it lets you chat through voice, and it lets you chat through video. Now, essentially, this thing was gamer-centric back in the day. They were really big doing things with esport and LAN parties and things like that. But since then, they've kind of grew out of that shadow, and now they're really used for a lot of things. There's, essentially, it's a communication group where you can get together and partner and discuss certain things. It's different servers that you can add to your likes, and you can collect information there. There's people I know that don't even text message anymore, that they essentially just use Discord to do things like that. Again, the video chat, and the chat is is really where it shines. Now, what's interesting is that the partnership really with Sony PlayStation. So this is what recently came out with Jim Ryan, and the full link is in the description. It's a few paragraphs long, but this is pretty much is what they sum it up in saying. To bring these experiences to life for our players, Sony Interactive Entertainment has made a minority investment as part of Discord Series H round. From our very first conversation with co-founders Jason Citron and Stan Vishnevsky, I was inspired by their lifelong love for gaming and our team's shared passion to help bring friends and communities together in new ways. Empowering players to create communities and enjoy shared gaming experiences is at the heart of what we do. So we are beyond excited to start this journey with one of the world's most popular communication services. So the interesting thing here is that they did an investment to become partners, because back when, a little while ago, Discord was actually looking to get bought. They were actually pursuing people like Amazon and Epic to purchase them, which they did not do. And they've really grown over the really during the pandemic that happened, because now they're hitting close to over 140 million people every month around the world. And when they got looked at and, estimated value, they were looking at about $7 billion worth of buyout. So, Microsoft comes knocking and they come over and they go, Discord, we'll buy you. And they put a number of $10 billion at them. And everyone thought this was going to happen, which is crazy because they just spent 7.5 on buying ZeniMax and the Bethesda, and now they're going to drop 10 billion on Discord, which puts in perspective that Discord is just worth a crazy amount. And they actually ended up turning it down, deciding to remain independent. And I think it was a strong move to do, because now what it did is it put a stamp on them saying, hey, we are not worth this much. Like, nobody can come over there and try to nickel and dime them anymore, because if you try to lowball that, they're going to go, well, we know we can go get this. So what's important here is that it's going to be the integration of what Discord means merging into PlayStation. Because right now, they don't have the worst chat. I would say that Microsoft is still better, but there's things like Nintendo that are still a lot worse. And what they're talking about is in 2022, because this is when we're actually going to start seeing it progress, is going to be next year sometime, is that they're going to start moving integration from Discord into PlayStation chat, and, essentially going to be able to move your contacts in. And now you'll be able to party with people from your phone, from your laptop, as well as PlayStation. I know it's kind of a lot to take in, Andrew, but you see the partnership coming in. I mean, what kind of possibilities do you see moving forward with this? Or do you have a different perspective on it?
I think that's kind of and it's important to note too that even though they are partnering, PlayStation only has a minor stake in this company. Correct. Too, so it's not like it's anything major. But that's more what I'm interested in, is how they're going to bring this to the table, because it is almost like a build your own little kind of like forum thing. But I feel like Xbox already has a lot of that stuff. With the party chat, I could party chat with people that aren't on my console if they're on a phone. I even have the Skype that's built in, and you could be in a chat with someone there. Plus, if you're just looking for messaging boards and stuff, Microsoft does have something like that with like the gaming club, where you can post looking for help with achievements, looking for fun players, whatever like that. For whatever game you're following, you can go check the gaming hub. So I know everyone's going crazy about it, but I kind of just don't understand why. I can maybe get why it helps Sony a bit more. I think it would help Nintendo the most, because they don't really have that whole integrated like party infrastructure, and Sony's has, not that it's the worst in the world, but I don't think it's as easy, intuitive, or as like, really, whenever I hear anyone talk about, oh, hey, when you get online, even if it's on the party chat, I don't know if that's what it's called on there, but in my mind, I'm always saying Xbox. That's always been the synonymous thing since they had started something like that. So that's what I'm really curious as to how they're going to make it better.
Yeah, so I think it is pretty big news for PlayStation getting, because a lot of what I've been seeing is that people, moving the chat rooms between like the PS4 and the PS5, even that has seemed to be difficult. Like, I guess you have to move around parties and things like that. But
for PlayStation, it was
for PlayStation. But you got to remember, since this is just a partnership, it's not stopping, unless Sony put in some weird language, but which reading so far, I doubt. Microsoft can still jump on board with this and be a part of that. And you got to assume that if Microsoft, obviously they have a really good setup. They have a good chat. They have good message board and group finding, but they were still interested in acquiring them. Now, whether or not that would have been just for Xbox or just, throughout Microsoft as the brand, that's a whole different thing. But the bigger thing that I know a lot of people are excited about mainly is that if Discord now becomes integrated with cross-platform chat rooms, because I know, and maybe you can speak to this a little more.
That would be the biggest thing I can think of.
Yeah, when you're playing a Call of Duty game and you've got 3 people on Xbox and someone else is from PlayStation, you have to use the game's in-game chat
and I don't think it's as good. That's the only other thing I was thinking of.
Right, they start integrating that between all of them. Now it's easy as pie to jump in and move, because it looks a little intimidating when you look at Discord for the first time. But once you start navigating through it, it's pretty easy, and I would see that being the biggest thing. This is moving forward cross-platform, and if PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo can get on board, then at least now we're moving in a cohesive, coherent way.
And that's what makes it even crazier, is because according to other documents that we've been looking at for a later part of our story, just a little bit of spoiler because it's related to this, is Sony didn't even really kind of give a shit or care about cross-platform. So the fact that this is something that would greatly help that out, which would more be Microsoft's votes or maybe even Nintendo's, but the fact that it's on Sony's side is what kind of blew my mind too. I'm like, okay, cool. That'd be the only thing I could really think of where it would really shine from Microsoft or anybody else as cross-platform. But the one place that didn't even really care about that or even try to support it all to begin with is the one who ended up with it. Yes. So that's where I'm just like, I'm really interested to see where this goes in the future.
Yeah, because it is... Because, again, Discord's the biggest in the business right now. And if you guys aren't using it for any reason, I know anyone watching this as a gamer probably is. But, I mean, you can still... I mean, there's a group for everything with Discord now. I mean, like my buddy Brian, he's just in a Major League Baseball one that does, like, news media updates and memes and chat rooms and things like that.
It's what we use for our Mario Kart.
Yeah, we use it for our Mario's days where we're doing Mario Kart. So we have our general text group, and then there's private rooms that let you talk and discuss when you're actually playing the game. And you could be running multiple, like people could be playing Mario Party, Mario Kart. So it's got a lot of use, and I'm going to be, again, just saying, I'm very curious to see how functional that's going to be when it's, integrated with the PlayStation and how you're going to be able to move. Because if we can move the chat room and all that thing and all those type of capabilities and make them better, then, it's great, because Discord is, as of right now, the best in the business. Essentially, someone like Microsoft was willing to pay $10 billion for them. So
there's got to be something there.
Yeah, I look at it as really good news. Again, it shows Discord how much they're worth to outside investors or potentially buyers. So there's really nothing to be mad, because we generally play more Xbox, but PlayStation people, one of the biggest complaints is how, kind of shitty their chat room experience has been, especially trying to migrate between the PS4 and the PS5. You put this in there that kind of seals that gap, then all it is one more good benefit to be owning either PS4 or the next gen PS5 hardware. So right. I look at it as a good, again, it's not a buy, a good investment all around. And if Nintendo and Xbox can jump in as well, then I think we're moving in the right direction. So anything else on that you wanna add on or no?
No, I think I kind of hit the nail on the head for that one.
So that was our main story, guys, was the Discord with Sony. So if you guys have any other thoughts or something maybe we missed or didn't consider, leave it down in the comments below. So with that being said, let's move into riffs. Now, I know Andrew's got a big riff coming up. So why don't you jump in and tell me a little about it?
So we're counting this as a riff and not a big story, even though it really kind of is. Just because, one, it is ongoing. There's new stuff coming out every day. There's no way we could really cover it all without, dedicating a whole episode to it. But the fact that it's constantly changing, new stuff every day, that it doesn't really make sense to kind of cover it until the end. So definitely go check it out for yourself. But that Epic versus Apple lawsuit isn't just about them right now. It's actually what's more interesting about it is there's all kinds of documents and random things that are leaking that pertain to everybody else. And I just have a few examples here. Again, go check it out yourself, because even while we were doing this, there was more stuff on there that dropped. So it was absolutely crazy
stuff, yeah.
But there was stuff in there showing that Epic was actually offering PlayStation $200 million just to get a handful. I think it said like 4 to 6 of their exclusives just to put exclusively on the store, on the Epic Store only. And so that's a crazy amount of money just for a couple games. And I wonder what the terms would have been on that, because who knows, they could have put like an older Uncharted or some of their older back catalog, because Sony's got, Killzone or something like that that's not anywhere else could have gone on there, that Microsoft personally internally reviewed The Last of Us 2 and has on there kind of a verbatim thing saying, this is what we like from the game, this is what we want our studios to be, what they thought of it. And then it even goes more into the fact that they thought Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 was going to be out last year, along with another Metroid Prime. So it's got a lot of companies involved, but the biggest news I think to drop out of it so far, and really what's kind of got everyone talking, is it said it in a document, but Tim Sweeney has said it now in court, is that PlayStation is the only company to ask for crossplay compensation. So out of all the companies, they're the only ones demanding, hey, and it's got the verbiage on there. I kind you'd have to kind of really read it to understand. It's a little hard to explain. But once a player base reaches a certain kind of number, or it's under a certain number, then then
it's not 7.0.
Yeah, then Epic would be responsible for paying Sony that difference in whatever the user base is, because now technically somehow it'd be helping the other company by propagating whatever it is that they're pushing or playing, or by founding that infrastructure. And so I just thought it's always been known that Sony kind of wasn't really up for it, not really kind of pushing for cross-platform. I didn't know that they were actually making people pay for it. And the fact that he came out and said it in court, even if it's only a little bit of money, the fact that Sony's the only company that said, hey, you got to pay us for cross-platform, when Nintendo's not doing it, nobody on PC's doing it, and Xbox isn't doing it, even if it was $10, still makes them look shitty.
Yeah, it's crazy because, I mean, a lot of people are asking, is it right? Is it wrong? Should they be doing it? But, I mean, it's not illegal. And Sony has always been known to be a heavy aggressor, especially when it comes to functionality between other competitors. And if they're seeing it away, because you got to remember, again, like, even though we play Xbox more, the community, the large part of the gaming community outside of PC is on the PlayStation.
Right.
So PlayStation demands, I don't want to say respect, but I mean, it can ask certain things like this, and they're big enough to get away with getting it, because if and maybe this is another reason of how they were gating crossplay. Like, if you don't want to play us, then the game can't be crossplay because we won't allow it. If you don't want to sum it up, because if they're not interested in this and they don't want to be crossplay, then this is a nice barrier to put up to block crossplay. Or at the same time, if they end up paying that, well, then they get paid for it. So Sony's, always jumping ahead when it comes to things like this. But it's like Andrew said, this case is huge. Again, this goes back to Fortnite being kind of the in-store game that Epic put on Apple that bypassed Apple's 30% cut when you were buying from the store. So we covered that a few episodes back, but there's tons of things getting released from this. And one of the other things that was catching my eye is that it's actually showing like what some games Epic's worth, that they want to pay for versus other games, and how big of a value difference that is. Because as a developer, you can start, again, like I said, it's always worth knowing what your stamp is. And this is on a Screen Rant article, and I'll put the link in the description. But one of the things they were showing says, for instance, the public is now well aware of how much Epic Games spends on the free games it often gives Epic Game Store users. The publisher paid Subnautica developers $1.4 million. Meanwhile, Overcooked and This War of Mine creators only received $225,000 and $250,000 respectively, and those are just a couple of games. If you're looking at that as a developer, and you see that huge margin,
hey, they got whatever, and even if my game's better or
not,
not,
that could either burn bridges in terms of development relationship or create more, or it definitely shifts the game of now what people are going to start paying for, because now you're not getting away with other companies not knowing what they're worth, when now we have documented paperwork showing what some companies get and some companies don't, and now who's worth more than the other based on sales and stuff like that. So like I just said, there's a ton to dive in, and we're just scratching the surface. There's so many more leaks, because this has been going on since Monday. I'm sure by the end of this court case, when everything's all said and done, we'll take a compilation of it and actually break down what the biggest things they hit worth. But as of right now, it's worth talking about, because you've got to read it for your own to see how crazy this thing is.
Yeah, again, it is a huge story, but there's constantly just breaking stuff. So it's until it's done, it's really hard to say without pointing out a couple things. That's why we kind of more made it a riff. But as of right now, it's really just kind of dragging a lot of people through the fucking mud.
Yes.
And it's crazy to see, because I never would have thought any of this would come from something like that.
Yeah, because the other big thing was, I know there was leaks with Fortnite that these map packs were coming out, that now they're going to be like this sandbox world, that all these new guns were coming out. So if you guys are interested in the case, I would say definitely keep a close eye on it, because every day there's something new to look at, laugh at, and learn about, which is always exciting when that kind of reveal the curtain and see what's happening behind the scenes.
Especially when you have all these other companies that aren't even involved in the main litigation.
Yeah, exactly. It's all the other people that are getting fucked. I mean, all it was a thing between Epic and Apple, and now all these other names are getting, I'm going to say dragged through the mud, but revealing secrets that never should have been revealed to the public and only are because of these weird court documented cases. So
yeah, so no, it's wild. Definitely go check it out for yourself.
Nice, guys. So, with the end of that, my riff is that the 2001 release Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is now out for Xbox, PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch with 4K scaling to all those that offer it. It's a $30 buy, and this thing came back out on, I believe, the PlayStation 2, and this was a game that me and my brother would play all the time. This was around the same time as like Champions in Wrath, if anyone played that. It's if you were getting into D&D, which we were into back in the day, but didn't really have anyone to play it with, like the tabletop, you could play the games like this, because there's Dark Alliance 1 and Dark Alliance 2. Number 1's coming out, and it's all Forgotten Realm stuff, and it's really cool that it's coming out, because we're definitely going to play it. There's 3 different characters that you can kind of pick through. What Gino kind of brought to my attention was like, why is this just not a double bundle? Like, for $30, I mean, that's not a crazy amount, but why wouldn't you just make it 1 and 2? Unless they plan on either remaking number 2 or putting both out at $30 a piece. That's a lot to ask for games that are like, 20 years old at this point. I would have been more happy if they would have bundled it. But the fact that, at least 1's coming out means that some of those old games maybe do have a chance to come back, because I've been waiting to play games like Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance for a very, very long time, and you just never get them, and I've always been curious as why. And the new one, Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance, is coming out, so hopefully in lieu of that coming out, they're going to start opening up these gates and allowing more of their old kind of Dungeons & Dragons titles to start releasing, because I need those in my life.
I actually don't really think about getting into like a lot of that stuff, more kind of like how that game is, until maybe like Oblivion or something like that. But when I really think about it, it didn't kind of occur to me until earlier when this game was announced. I actually had this game as a kid.
Oh, I'm sure. It was a good one.
It was actually really good, but I would like to see something more like this, or even like some of the classic Gauntlets, like Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
God,
I don't know if you played that.
I beat it with shout out to Kyler Johnson. Me and Gino we always used to play it, but I remember I think us 3 sat down one day and actually like knocked it out.
My dad is strictly like a Madden, Call of Duty, like MLB fan, like only sports games and Call of Duty, and that's like all he really plays. But for some reason, when I was a kid, he was really into Gauntlet Dark Legacy, going through it. I remember going to Blockbuster, renting it, even my cousins, and we all played it together. Even my brother, who again is not into any sort of game like that, he loves Gauntlet Dark Legacy. That's something we have in our memory, and that's a game I would love to play again, or at least something that matches something like that. So yeah, that does give me hope for, hey, let's reach in this back catalog and pull something out that's cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that they still look good. I mean, those games are old as shit, but they still they hold up. They're not games that when you look at them, you're like, oh, that looks like trash. Like,
when it plays well,
yeah, they don't
it can look a little substandard.
Yeah, it still holds up, and it just, because obviously they're doing remakes and they're redoing everything under the sun these days. The fact that they can just re-release a game and it can still hold up, a nice $30 price point in my mind might be a little high, $20 maybe, but 30 is not bad, and I'm really excited that it's out now and that we get a chance to play it. So that's my last riff.
So my last riff, and then I always butcher the studio's name, so I'm just going to say RGG. That's the studio that makes Yakuza games. They actually did an announcement today that they're making a sequel to Judgment. Judgment just came out. It's called Lost Judgment, and that comes out September 24th. But what is more important about this announcement is they've gone on to say that all future Yakuza games will be JRPG games, like what Yakuza 7 just was. And I loved Like a Dragon. I don't remember if I had put that as my game of the year. If not, it was number 2. Either way, I truly love that game, and I thought it was really good, that I'm hyped for whatever they do with that future. And I think it's cool that now they did do what I think a lot of other people should do. When you make a game that's got good gameplay and then you have another one that's got good mechanics, and you've got good mechanics both ways, don't just, okay, now one side of the fan base is fucked because we only want to make action games. Now I can have the best of both worlds. The next Yakuza game is going to be that JRPG that I want, and the next Judgment game is going to be that over-the-top Yakuza action fucking just beating people up game that I want. So I'm super hype on that, and I think that was the best call. I think that's actually really, really cool of them to do.
Nice. I think Yakuza was your game of the year for 2020.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was, but
yeah, because I remember because you got the special edition like metal case.
I do. Yeah, I just saw that.
Nice. So that is the end of our riff, guys. Leave questions or comments about anything we discussed, and leave that down below. So we're gonna move into questions of the week, guys. If you want to submit a question for us to answer on air, all you got to do is leave it down below in the comment section. Just put, video game, or it doesn't have to be a video game question. It can be about comic books, movies, beers,
anything,
whatever
really.
you want. So question number 1 comes from Casey Court, and he says, check me out. I'm here to say hi. Hashtag Switchlight. Oh, and shout out to Casey.
Congratulations on
he
the
was
victory.
playing his victory of the night. I don't want to butcher it. I think it was Heroes of the Storm. I think that's what he plays. And they were like an undefeated team. I think they took one loss at the end of last night, but they ended up coming out on top. And did you watch it at all?
I just know that he won, but I was trying to figure out my stream at the same time for Resident Evil, so I'm sorry I didn't.
Because me and Gino were playing Outriders, but we both had it up on our laptop and we were checking them out.
I did watch his previous one, though, and I sent a picture to prove it.
Yeah, it's crazy watching those guys get down, man. It's nuts.
It's kind of weird watching because I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm still, like, interested in it just because one person I know is in it, so I'm trying to figure out the game, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't really understand what's what, but like, it's cool.
Watch. So he goes, hope you two goons have a wonderful week ahead and beat all the games. What is your single most favorite movie of all time? We've touched on that before, but it's always nice to revisit. Mine, hands down, is always going to be Man from Earth. The plot, essentially, is all these scientific minds are sitting in one room. This guy's moving, and they can't figure out why. He looks about the age of 35. He's got a beautiful career ahead of him. All of his colleagues are a little bit older. And the story that gets passed around the room is that, he's a caveman, and he's been around forever. And
what's the one with, like, Chris Rock?
No. We'll watch it on the weekend.
I've never seen what you're talking about.
Oh, dude. I don't know if you love it because it's pretty slow. It's just all conversation of the minds.
I enjoy a good movie.
And, yeah, there's like an anthropologist, a Christian literalist, a biologist, all these people. So when they kind of start dissecting it, like, what would happen if somebody lived till now? What would it be like? And then it kind of gets into, like, what if it was him? And I don't know. I won't go any further than that if you guys ever plan on watching it. But fantastic movie. And, Andrew, what would yours be?
Catch Me on the Right Day, and it's between two, but they're the same franchise. So it would either be Jurassic World or Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. So decades apart. I would definitely, since you're asking me today, I'll say Jurassic Park today, because that's more what I'm feeling. I absolutely fucking love dinosaurs, and Jurassic Park, even though it's got some movies in there that have a mess up, is absolutely one of my all-time favorite movie franchises.
That's why we're going to get you on Second Extinction.
I liked playing it the other day. As soon as you said it's like Left 4 Dead but dinosaurs, I was like, cool, fucking sign me up. Yeah, I'm in.
It's like Turok meets Left 4 Dead.
But as soon as we played for 40 minutes and then I got kicked out and lost my progress, I was like, well, I'm done.
I say we give it a week and then we dive back in.
I'll definitely try it again for the dinosaurs because I had finally ran... This dude, the whole time we're playing, he's like, yeah, there's this and that. I don't know. I haven't ran into a T-Rex. Like, 10 minutes in, I'm trying to, like, harvest these eggs or something. A fucking T-Rex comes barreling out, and I'm trying to get away, and I'm getting, like, mauled to death. Barely got away. But either way, it was...
it's action-packed. It keeps you on your toes. Those dinosaurs fuck you up a lot quicker
than you would think.
Yeah, so...
But either way, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, thank you for the question, and leave your answer down below. Second question comes from Melissa Segura, and she writes, my question is, I bought VR, I believe it was the Sony PlayStation VR, not too long ago, and I've tried to play a few games, but man, I get such bad motion sickness. Have you guys ever had that happen to you, and how did you overcome it? If so, Hashtag Switch Lite. I actually have the Oculus, and I do get motion. As a kid, I used to get really bad motion sickness on car rides and carnival rides, and I still will get fucked up if shit blurs me out too quick. Even on the Oculus, I've noticed that my sense of like where I'm at, I do get dizzy and nauseous, and I don't say I've overcome it in any way outside of taking like a motion sickness pill, but I know now I don't do any of that drunk anymore, because like when we would play the Oculus, drinking a couple beers, once a buzz is on you and that happens, I would say stay away from it. And if I know my Melissa, she's usually about 5 years in when she's on the VR, so I've never found a way around it. I think it's just based on person. I would say take a pill that gets rid of that. Have you played any VR yet?
I haven't played any VR, but...
Didn't we do any at the GameStop conventions? Did you play the Doom one that was on there?
No, I didn't get a chance to. I don't do any VR, and I'm personally kind of not interested in it for more than one reason, but also I do get motion sickness. So that's
still
not
like bad now?
That's something I've never really been able to kind of like overcome. I don't get it. Like if I'm playing Call of Duty and I'm just spinning in circles, that doesn't give me motion sickness. But there's just certain things that do. Like I watched a video.
Yeah, it's when my equilibrium starts fucking off. That
yeah,
too.
I
It's
watched
just
like a video
ugh.
earlier, and it's like two Russian guys, and people don't believe like how fast they can do whatever. And this dude goes like this slow, and then he starts going like really fucking fast, and so his arms kind of like look like it's off, like almost like it's fake. But it kind of almost like I found myself like kind of rocking back and forth the second while. I was like, it made me sick like watching it. So I don't fuck with that stuff because I know it'll make me
Yeah,
sick.
if you find a way around it, let me know. Because,
Yeah, for real. Because I don't ride roller coasters. I don't even go on teacups because that makes me sick.
Oh, we were in Phoenix and we went to a carnival, me and Deandra, and we went and there's certain rides that just fuck me up. And the zipper, is that what it was? The one that just. So I've never done this as a kid.
I would have fucking thrown up.
There's
no way.
We do that one. We do a couple rides, and we do some other scarier ones that are like that. You know, the ones that like swoosh around.
I've been on stuff like that. Yeah.
But I go on the zipper, man, and literally I get out. We walk around. I'm like, I gotta go throw up now because I can't walk. And I remember going to the side bar, and I'm like, all right, it's time to go. We've got to go.
Yeah, see, yeah, it fucks me up that bad that after I'm like, okay, the rest of my night's done.
Yeah, I'm just glad I can do car rides now because I used to not be able to do like long, like 3-4 hour car rides. Where now that's the only thing I think I've been able to overcome as an adult is like I can now take a 4 or 5 hour car ride without getting sick.
That's one thing too. Is driving? I'm fine, but if I'm the passenger, I used to get really sick.
And that cold air had to be on you in the window.
Yeah, I'd have to roll the window down so I don't throw up.
Yeah. So yeah, if you find a way, help me out because
Yeah,
I'm dying over here. Last question comes from Molly
I
Monroe.
was born in the motion sickness.
And she writes, great show. You guys work well together. Oh,
First of all, I was going to say, Molly Monroe, sick name sounds fake. It definitely sounds like an X-Men name or like Heroes. Like it would be one of Molly Monroe.
Yeah,
like,
well, because Stan Lee used to have that fascination with, or no, what he would do is he would name somebody with the same letters, like Susan Storm,
Yeah.
Peter Parker, so it was just easier for him to remember. So like Molly Monroe, you got a real X-Men name to you, a real Marvel Universe name. So good on you. It says, you guys work well together. How long have you been friends? We looked at this question because I had to show Andrew, and we had to, like, I guess not really think about it, but ballpark it to where I think it was around 2013, which would be about 8 years ago.
Right.
And essentially, how we even became friends was through a mutual friend that we both had trying to start a video game podcast 8 years ago. And that's how long we've been interested in trying to get this ball rolling.
Yeah,
and Andrew stuck around as long as he did. God bless him.
Technically, this is last call part 2 because we did an original video that never saw the light of day, and I don't know if anyone still has it or anything.
It has to be on his computer.
It was before the Xbox One and the PS4 launched.
For
So
sure.
I remember that was the main topic, and we were talking about Titanfall and stuff like that. And we had like a round table, and it was a whole different thing. And we were drinking like rum. I remember the Kraken rum.
Yep.
And then after that, we kind of all parted ways. And I didn't talk to that other dude for a while, and then randomly just started talking to Craig again. But then we became really good friends because we used to go to guys' night every week, and all we do is talk about video games, drink, hang out, eat food. And I don't know why we took so long to try to start up the show again, but it just took a while.
It was me.
I think it was mostly just kind of figuring it out too, because we had tried
we wanted quality, and
yeah, we tried other projects too, and it just kind of wasn't really meeting our standards. And maybe that is the thing too. It's like a big part of this, especially if you go back and look at some of our earlier stuff, which we're not crazy about.
I hate them.
Is that video quality and figuring everything out, and I'm sure we would have to do that along the way. But back then too, we also didn't really have the money for it.
Yeah, there's a person I follow, John Campia, and he says that, like, you know, one of his kind of philosophies are, don't be the person that says putting out something is better than nothing. You know,
No.
because putting out something that's bad is going to damage your brand, whether that's your
Forever,
first video,
yeah.
early or down the road. And I'm not super happy with our old stuff, but it would have been a lot better than what we tried doing 8 years ago.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And learning that stuff, you know, helped us get to where we're at. And it only took us about, I think, 10 episodes until we kind of figured out our layout, our plan, our formula. So I'm just super happy that Andrew, as long as I've been talking about this, because there's been other people that were, you know, originally I was going to do something with. But Andrew's the one that, you know, stayed with me the longest, figured out the show, was here every week when we had to do something, never made up excuses.
If you'll notice,
here we are.
That's why the show is called Last Call Productions versus Gaming, because there was supposed to be a lot more.
Yeah, we were supposed to have definite shows, and we do have a couple of things on the way.
try to do.
But Molly Monroe, thank you for the question, and thanks for pointing it out. That, you know, how happy we are as buds here. So, guys, let's move in real quick before we end the show. Is that we are giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite, and here is a quick video, guys, on how you can enter and how you can win. Hey guys, this is Craig with LastCall Productions, here to let you know that we're giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite. How do you enter? How do you win? It's really quite simple. Check out our YouTube channel, LastCall Productions, and find our show, LastCallGaming, which is our weekly video game news podcast that we air every Friday. Look for episodes 83 to 90, and on each of those episodes, leave in the comment section, #SwitchLite. That will be your entry to the contest. We are going to pull one name from each of those episodes, and on episode 91, we will announce the winner. This contest is open to anybody that feels free to enter it. So I have to clarify, you need to like each of those videos, and you also need to subscribe. If you guys have any questions about the contest, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below this video, or you can email us at lastcallproductions@gmail.com. And with all that being said, guys, good luck. All right, guys, that is the contest. That's how you enter. That's how you win. You still got a few more episodes to enter. If you haven't entered already, make sure you go back and fill up all the qualifying episodes, and you could possibly be the winner when we do the episode 91. So, guys, that is the end of this episode. Had a lot of fun with you.
Go and get our shirts if you're into them, because
check out our merchandise.
No, we did make some new shirts, so that would be pretty funny. We have a couple other things up there, so if that's something you're into, definitely check it out too as well.
Right now they're on TeePublic, which you guys can find the link in the description. But we are going to be moving to Teespring eventually. But right now TeePublic, is a comfortable place with us. So if you guys enjoy it and want to support the Last Call merchandise, grab it, because we are. If you guys
we suffer a lawsuit.
Yeah. So if you guys want to get a shirt, take a picture with you in it, whether you're playing a game or you're out at your favorite bar or something, send it to lastcallproductions@gmail.com, because at the end of the year, we put a compilation video of, us and all of our fans that we've gained over the year, and we can put you guys in the video. So if you are liking the shirts and you want to be in a project that we do, get one at TeePublic, and send it to us on our email, and we will add you. But guys, that is the end of this amazing episode. A little longer than usual, but I think we hit all the good facts. So until next time, guys, my name is Craig Perales, and this is Mandrew Montemare. Cheers.
Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow's a good one.
Because he's kind of he's worked out, he's super fucking physical, and he's fucking boxing. Actually, he would probably kick my ass.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I think about that movie.
He's whomping stomping.
$20, here says, I'll kick your ass.
Ooh, yeah. I just like him in that one with shaved-headed Travolta. Because I forget what task force or whatever he was on, but he was just so fucking G in that movie. That's the one I want to see again. Because I also like John Rhys Meyers. You don't see him in anything anymore either. I only remember him from that movie. And
Pelham? Who's he in Pelham?
Isn't he the other dude? He's the guy who he has to protect or whatever.
I think you're thinking of From Russia with Love, or that.
Oh,
other one.
Maybe that is one.
Pelham 1, 2, 3 is where he's bald and he's robbing the train with Denzel Washington.
Okay, no, then I'm thinking of the other one.
So I would say I like Pelham 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't have called that his prime, but his acting is very good in that movie because he's crazy and erratic. I don't know. Good.
Is he not bald headed in both of them?
Yeah, I think he is.
Okay, because let's take a peek. From Russia with Love.
Oh, it's from Paris with Love.
There you go. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, yeah, John Rhys Meyers is in that one, and that's the one I'm thinking of. Then, yeah, that's when he's bald headed in.
Yeah, he's bald in both of them, I think.
Okay, well, he's definitely bald headed in this one. Now we gotta look at
him up in Pelham. Yeah, Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Pelham 1, 2, 3.
No, he's got a little bit of hair. Okay, yeah. Oh, you know what?
Well, he's badass in both of them, and didn't they come out like a year apart
from each other? I think in this,
he just has that, and it's not a full goatee. He just has the handlebars, and maybe that's what I was confusing it with, is because he's got a goatee. Doesn't he have a goatee in from?
Yeah,
Paris with Love.
Yeah, he's got the full goatee, the bald headed. But yeah, dude, he's so like legit in that movie. That's the one I think I'm taking a prime JT. Some prime JT, because I'm pretty sure these movies were like back to back.
What's Prime Cage?
Prime Cage is Con Air. Like, you're not taking. There's no other movie you're taking Cage in that he's not fucking gonna womp and stomp you. Or I mean, unless you're going personality, you're taking him from like Face Off. But I mean, he's huge in that movie.
I don't know. I think he looks the best in Gone in 60 Seconds, though, especially with that like fake dyed hair.
I like him. I like him as a Ghost Rider, and we put the CGI on him, and we don't recognize him. That's always a classic Cage move.
You think you fall for him faster than that time we tried to leave that expensive pizza place in Vegas and you tripped?
Oh, it wasn't a full trip.
You fell and you were definitely on one hand.
I stumbled out the gate, and I look back and that chick's looking at me. Andrew, start the car.
Me and Christina were talking about that the other day, and like I'll never fucking forget that.
What did we go in there for? What were we tried a new place?
We went to a comic book thing, yeah, and then we were gonna try a new place, and then it turned out everything on the menu was like over fucking $20.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, water was only by request, so we asked for water, and then just wasted it because we took like 2 sips. Mm-hmm. I just remember leaving. I don't know if you went to tie your shoe or something, but then you panicked because I just walked away. And so you slipped. I just remember turning around and you're on like fucking one hand and one knee.
I think there was like something on the chairs or something. I remember. Well, I was trying to be like discreet, but you like already were gone. So I was like, oh man, maybe she won't notice, but I just do it quickly. And I remember go,
That's when we went to that like Subway for pizza place afterwards.
That was good.
And then they like weren't gonna charge us.
Oh yeah, see, and it was
because that place is a fucking mess. There's no way that place is still open today. Because they were probably hemorrhaging money from whatever the fuck they had.
With all those free meals they were giving out.
Yeah.